By the way, what happens if the flip side actually happens, where Lewis, well, he ends up being strong and ultimately ends up beating Leclerc and takes over the team? What's the whole thing with with Toto Wolff actually admitting that, look, the fans, it's not only about, because one thing that stood out for me was Toto Wolff actually claiming that he has some very devoted fans who will always put it on the team. He specifically said that. And you know that, and which is actually even a sign for Fred Vasseur that it doesn't matter what happens, whatever you do, if Lewis has a bad weekend or anything, it will come down to the team only. And Ferrari is not a fan of bad PR. They never have been.
They hate it. They really can't stand it. It's the one, like, out of all of the teams that I've watched over the past 20 years, Ferrari is the one that will not stand for that. Like, you are not allowed to talk badly about the team. Like, Lewis Hamilton coming out and going, the car was just shit this weekend, is not going to fly at Ferrari. Like, or it will for a weekend or two, but not for long, you know? I don't know. I have a feeling that Fred might be standing there laughing when it starts happening because he'll be like, John, I told you. Like, you know, like I think Fred Vasseur wasn't the one who made the decision to bring Hamilton on. And I think that I think Fred Vasseur probably would have been on board if they had said, look, we're going to bring Hamilton in and we want you on board with the decision. But it very much comes across as this was just presented to Fred as like, we've made the contract. And Fred was probably like, I told you I wanted influence on all decisions. Yeah. So I think Fred will probably laugh if John Elkann comes in and goes, oh, the team's getting shit because Hamilton fans are going crazy. Fred will probably just laugh and go, well, that's your problem. I didn't sign him. You know, you shouldn't have signed him.
By the way, what happens if the flip side actually happens, where Lewis, well, he ends up being strong and ultimately ends up beating Leclerc and takes over the team?
It's a win-win for the team, I think. Yeah.
Okay,
because like, if he's stronger than Leclerc, then he's going to have to be very, very good, because Leclerc is not going to be terrible. So that's going to be a very strong situation. Yeah, I mean, if Lewis goes in and absolutely is the comprehensively, it doesn't even need to smash Leclerc, but if he's just better than Leclerc, that means that George is potentially, you know, one of the best drivers, if not the second best driver in the grid. Yeah. It's probably Verstappen, Hamilton, George. That's probably literally the order that we get straight away there.
Verstappen, George, Hamilton, right? What did you say?
Yes, sorry, Verstappen, George, Hamilton. Yeah. That would be the order.
That would be the order in that case. And again, I don't see it happening, but it might happen, because again, Lewis has some intrinsic strengths. In the wet weather, I think I'll favor Lewis over Leclerc. When it comes to taking calls within a race, I think I'll favor Lewis over Leclerc, because the experience and everything, it tends to make a lot of difference. But I don't know. Overall pace and performance, I'll tend to lean towards Charles on that front.
I would be very surprised if Hamilton is beating Leclerc, to be honest. Yeah. Because the only reason for it is I do think that Leclerc is a more complete package than George is. So if Hamilton can't beat George as his own team, I don't think he's going to beat Leclerc at Leclerc's team. That is very, you know. Yeah, I tend to end. Because you can talk about I was just going to say, the fans can talk about sabotage all they want, but it's been 2 out of 3 seasons now. So you can't say it was sabotage in 2022 when George comprehensively beat Lewis once again.
But there were apparently experiments. And
whatever. Fine. Yeah. Enjoy your excuses, you know.
Yeah.
When you're not winning, excuses are what you do. That's simple as that. So if you're making excuses, it's because you're not winning. That's fine. Fair enough. Whatever.
Yeah. I think
you don't see Verstappen making excuses like when he's winning. He makes excuses when he's not winning.
Yeah. Sure. Piss off the Verstappen fans as well. Just on.
Sure, yeah. You see Leclerc making excuses when he's not winning. You see Norris making excuses when he's not winning. It's because they're all shit drivers. And the real GOAT of F1 is Nico Hülkenberg.
Yeah. Apparently, Yeah, it was weird. I think I saw a quote from Franz Tost where he said that Nico Hülkenberg does not belong in Formula One. And
Oh,
I was
Christ.
very confused. And again, the thing was, in the entire article, he basically advocated putting Mick Schumacher in place of Nico Hülkenberg because of what happened in Brazil, a race where Carlos Sainz crashed out. I think Franco Colapinto had 3 crashes. Albon could not make it to the race. Who else? I think multiple other. Alonso crashed out. Lance Stroll, well, he did what Lance Stroll does. I think it's
Yeah.
basically half the grid. It's funny. Sometimes, partisan, it kind of shows.